Your tweet certainly caught my eye today that the Falcons have discussed several trade offers for Julio Jones, including an offer for a future first-round draft pick. And go for it. What can you tell me about this, Dianna?
Let's start with right around the draft, the buzz began, and that's when it really got out. The Falcons had been doing work over the phone probably since early March when they started to put it out there that, hey, we're open for business. They had a few teams. They had some interest. The price they wanted, not great at the time. Not bad, just not what they were looking for. What they're looking for, a first-rounder. Over the last 3-4 days, it's really started to heat up. The traditional thing that we've seen these days with quarterbacks reaching out to their potential new receivers or new star players has begun. Quarterbacks from big teams, big star players have started to call Julio. The recruitment has begun. But as we know, it always comes down to what's going to be the value. What is the trade value? Atlanta wants a first-rounder, and they seem pretty stuck on that. They're not willing to wiggle as of now, and they have an offer on the table from a team, from what I've been able to gather late last night and early this morning. I think sometimes when you hear reports like this, you immediately think, well, obviously that's Atlanta telling her this because they want the price to go up. But the initial information I actually received was from another team who was interested, which then made me do some work on it because this team does not have a first-rounder available, or at least they're not willing to give it up for Julio, and they were pretty bummed to hear that the chances of landing him were decreasing. So here we are at, and I think it's heating up, Rich. I think this is something that we can see go down over the next few weeks here.
And so this is born out of I guess the salary cap necessity, or the fact that Julio apparently asked for a trade, according to my colleague at the NFL Media Group and Ian Rappaport months ago. Why now? Is it the June 1st? Ability for Atlanta to not take the biggest cap hit possible as opposed to the draft? Is that why we're seeing the timing right now, Dianna Russini?
Very much so, Rich. That is the reason. And look, it's a little... We could probably split hairs on what really went down in terms of, was this Julio asking for a trade first, or was this the Falcons open to trading him? The way I gathered the information since I started hearing about this a few weeks ago, or actually a few months ago, it was Atlanta was open to trading, and then Julio found out about it, and then that's how that began. So, and look, it really doesn't matter. Obviously, both sides just aren't happy. They don't want it. They don't want to be together. So after this June 1st date, it makes the most sense, and it's something that's going to most likely happen. And it all works out, as it sounds like it is right now, Atlanta could walk away with a first-round draft pick for a 32-year-old wide receiver.
That would be remarkable. But it's not just any 32-year-old wide receiver either, I guess. So name me some teams that you're hearing that would be the landing spot here for Julio Jones, Dianna.
Well, there's a big difference between the teams that are offering the future first-round draft pick, obviously, and those that are interested. The names that I've been hearing over the last week or so, the New England Patriots, the Tennessee Titans have been talking to Atlanta as well. I have not heard if it was those teams that have been willing to come up. The sense I'm getting is that price is too high. The San Francisco 49ers, the Baltimore Ravens, price too high is what I keep hearing from those teams. So those are the ones I've been able to check in with to confirm are in, but may not have the right value right now for that trade to go down. But again, I think just historically, when you look back the past 25 years, 11 receivers have been traded for at least one first-round draft pick. Of those, Randy Moss and Joey Galloway, and they were both 28.
Yeah, and they both went to New England too, right? I mean,
yes,
wound up in New England at one point. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.